It feels so weird doing this on a Tuesday to me.
Yes.
I mean, like yesterday, I was like,
a little time to adjust, I think.
I know. I got home from work and I'm like, okay, we got a live. And it's like, wait, no, we don't have a live on Monday night.
Yeah.
It was so weird it was just weird. And it threw me off today because I kept thinking today was Monday. No, it's Tuesday. I mean, this is our first week of Tuesday Takedown.
Yeah, that's right.
And I still haven't gotten a notification that we're live, which is really odd.
Really? Well, I'm watching.
Oh, never mind. I just got it.
Phone, so
I just got it. So we got a couple people watching. So feel free to comment. Let us know you're here. Mike Kretzer's in the chat. Live action. Mike. It is live. Ooh. We are live. We're live on a Tuesday. Right. So it's kind of
a little bit different.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talked earlier about what we're going to do, but it's going to be a mystery to a lot of people in the chat. We do have some, how do you want to phrase it?
Possible guests.
Possible guests might stop in. Some big name guests, we'll say, might stop by. Some people that you've probably have heard of, and you probably watch their videos. If you don't, I'm not sure. It's like, if you don't watch our videos, I'm not sure who.
Well, maybe you will after tonight.
Correct. And if you follow us, there's a good chance you follow them. So there's also might be another little twist we might throw in tonight too. But we're not going to announce that just yet. We're going to wait till some more people come in. We'll see what happens. Right. I think I like that. That one's going to be a good one. If you know what I'm talking about. I'm not muting you.
I still got a little bit of a cough, but I am here. Oh, and it's a warm Iowa night here.
You know what? It's actually really chilly here. It's like 50 some degrees. It was humid this morning. Now it's gotten better. But no, we are good, Mike. And I mean, it just feels weird to do this on a Tuesday. And who knows? We might stay on Tuesdays for a few weeks. We might move again. Who knows? But we're definitely not going to do a morning show. That man, that's a new name in the chat.
Oh, come on. You don't know who that is? That's Alex. Hey, Alex. And hey, Hoogs. Oh, hi, Desiree. It was good to see you.
Oh, wait. Oh, how did that one popped up? I know who the Who's are.
Yeah, that's right. And there's Ed.
There's Ed. Ooh. It's fresh today here too. You know what? We love the cold weather too. It was
cooler here now. Well, I am dying.
I like the fall weather. I do. I mean, it's just nice. It's nice to sleep at night with the windows open and whatnot. And
okay, I gotta put my hair up. Hold on.
No, it's all good.
This. I'm dying.
Let me give that man a wrench.
Desiree will know what I'm talking about.
What, the hair?
You guys don't understand
pulling up the hair?
Yeah.
I had a comb on before we started, so.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Alex? Your hair is really long too, right?
It has some long hair too.
Ed's got, some bangs going on there. So what's everybody doing tonight? Are you guys listening?
I mean, we might
listening.
I'm gonna try to list as we talk. So because as you can see, it's down here, over here. I got a pile of stuff I took pictures of today. So
okay, well,
I need to list. So far, like I said, I got 2 things listed today, I think.
Well, that's good though, because it's Tuesday Takedown. So you need to take down this pile.
I'm trying to take down the pile and get things moving. Desiree said mine's already up 2.
Yep.
Reseller Review said so many 4-letter words I want to yell, and that one I want to yell the most is help. I was not thinking the word help. So Ed said he loves the winter weather. See, I like when it's cool enough just to throw a hoodie on.
See, I'm drinking ice with my Diet Pepsi.
So here's what I'm drinking. Water.
There you go.
And a Red Bull. Which is odd because after the show's over with, I have to go to bed to wake up at 4. So you would think I
So
would
you're
not be
drinking a Red Bull?
Correct. Usually every show I do have a Red Bull.
Hmm.
Most of them. I will be able to go to sleep though. My hair gets itchy. I need to cut it. Yeah, I gotta cut. My barber cuts mine in the backyard, usually before work. He just started growing here.
Okay.
Mike said he's doing nothing as usual about bedtime. Hey, but you did stuff this week, like you told me.
Okay,
Ed's
so
already-
I keep hearing an echo, even though I got
maybe turn the volume. Maybe turn down the volume a little bit.
okay.
Ed's already listed 30 things. He photographed 30 shoes. Hey, Ed, I know I mentioned a little hint that video, check out our video Thursday. You'll be interested. Resell Royalty, how are you? Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Tina just hit 400 subscribers.
That's nuts.
That's awesome. Very
Just
good.
That's about the area where it starts to get weird because I feel like it goes quick, but then you hit a wall. It's just an odd number.
Yeah.
But it just keeps going. But hey, you're almost halfway there to 1,000. So
Oof, that's awesome.
Mike said coffee. Yeah, I only do coffee in the morning. That's the only time I do coffee. I have a monster usually whenever I'm a guest on a live. I usually have a monster every time I do a live. So, or a Red Bull. She's taking
Somebody needs
photos.
to bring me one.
I did all my photos after work today just so I can have everything done for the show, even though I know I probably won't get many listed. Man, Little Miss Q has listed 100 items in the past 3 days. She took down that pile. Now that's good.
You want to come to my house? You can help me.
Yep. See, Mike did a little moving and shaking in those eBay sales and got a couple sales. Hey,
nice.
Every sale counts.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, it's this one. Don't get me wrong; it's not the best video, but sometimes those videos we think are not the best turn out to be the good ones. KT Treasures, how are you? Yep. Just keep as is. YouTube, eBay, everything is just a massive grind. I mean, sometimes I feel like now that we do YouTube, just take the headphones off.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if that's. Ooh,
sometimes I feel like since we've done YouTube, we've neglected eBay so much. And sometimes I thought, well, if we quit YouTube, we could focus on eBay more. But I need to just balance the time more because we are doing pretty good. Little Miss Q is only 6 away from 300. Drop your link. Let's get you to 300 tonight. We'll take down that number. We'll take down that 200 number. How about that? This is Takedown Tuesday.
That's right. Woo.
I think I weeded out one item to travel to the next hospital. There you go. My visitor will take it home with her. Oh, Wisconsin Picker. That's a new name for me.
Hey, how's it going?
I know that's out your way, so.
That's right. Is your first name Kyle? I think.
I have trouble with doing photos and listing later. Well, see, and I do too, referring back to items. And as you can see, right here is my pile of items that I took pictures of today. That after I list them, if I need to look at them and grab it for something, then I'll take it over to our bins. So that's why I leave it out. So I'm the same way as you. I'm at about 140. Okay, 140 is still a lot of items. Cheryl, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Straight black coffee.
Ugh. Creamer.
Yeah, I can't do a straight black.
Chocolate caramel. Sign me
Still
up.
a bunch more. My death pile's no joke. Well, guess what? Today's Takedown Tuesday. So if you list during the show, you take it down some more.
Yeah.
I like Takedown Tuesday. I'm glad I thought of that name.
Just attack the pile. Yeah. Keep at it.
I'm glad I thought of that name. I didn't think of that name.
Yeah, Mike, you are the man.
There's Little Miss Q's YouTube channel. Go hit that sub button. Get her over 300? Yeah, get her over 300 tonight. I had to think for a second there. Mike is north of me. And guess what, guys? We got our first guest of the night. Ooh. You can. Oh, that's right. You cannot.
I can't even see. I'm
love it.
So excited.
I love it. I think I'm caught up on the chat. Oh, some hocus. So here, we're gonna bring on the first guest.
Oh wow.
Hey, Daniel, how you doing?
I don't think he was ready.
Oh,
No, it's all good. I'm ready.
good to see you.
Oh,
Thanks
can you
for
guys hear
coming.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, I
So
saw
tell us who you
Yinzer.
are.
I saw Yinzer in the chat over there on Prison to Profit.
Yeah, we were actually watching him before the show. So
Yeah, I was watching that too. Oh, so my name is Daniel. I'm from El Paso, Texas. That's
okay.
the furthest west in Texas you can go. Then you hit Mexico, and then you hit New Mexico. So I'm like right here on the border of New Mexico State and then Mexico country. And I got my daughter right here. She likes
I
being
see
with
you're
her
on
daddy.
all your Instagram. So
You're right here. Say hi.
hey, sweetie.
Yeah, Mike just got the notification that we went live.
Give me a kiss.
Nice.
Give me a kiss. Okay, go with your mom.
Everybody's saying hi.
Jennifer, we're trying to get Little Miss Q to 300.
Yep, Little Miss Q is what was it 6
man.
away from 300? I think.
I don't
I
remember.
think it's
Nice,
6.
nice.
6?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've only been to Texas twice. I've been down to
So-
I
Dallas.
love
I've been
Texas.
down to the Dallas Fort Worth area. I was
Okay.
there for
Where
for
you guys
Christmas
from?
one. We're from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Both of you? Pittsburgh?
No.
I'm from Iowa.
Iowa, Pittsburgh. Okay, cool.
Yes. We went to Fort Sam Houston and Dripping Springs, Texas last September. It was great.
Okay.
Loved
That's
it.
San Antonio, right? Sam Houston?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was in Dallas
San
Fort
Antonio.
Worth.
And it was a ghost town because of COVID. We got to go to everything. We didn't have, I mean, there was no lockdown, but nobody was around because of everything happening. So it was great though. We were
Yeah,
fine with
it's
it.
beautiful. San Antonio's beautiful.
The big restaurant that rotates in San Antonio,
yeah,
I think.
the needle, the Space Needle. I forgot what it's called. It's
Yeah,
like
you know what
Seattle.
I'm talking about though. It
Yeah.
American Highlights, American something.
Yeah, I've
Anyway,
never been
it
in
was
there. I don't know.
wonderful. Wonderful. It's our 25th anniversary. So we enjoyed it.
Jennifer Hayes.
So tell us what you do. I know you do eBay, but I think you're kind of the Amazon guy, right?
Well, yeah, I started back in 2016 with eBay. I needed to find a way to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I had gotten hired at a job as a phlebotomist because that's what I went to school for, medical assisting and phlebotomy. So I had made some mistakes in the past where I got some DWIs, and I'm learning from my lessons. And back then in 2016, I got a job at the hospital as a phlebotomist. It was a brand new hospital, and I remember I was about to start, and they told me like 2 days before I was gonna start, we can't hire you. You have a record, a DWI on your record. So back then I was devastated because I wanted to really do that. You know, I went to school for it. I know I enjoyed drawing. I enjoyed drawing blood because I'd worked in the plasma centers and stuff like that. And I've worked for doctors before. So when that happened, I thought like, oh, I can't get a job anymore because people are always gonna judge me on my past. And I remembered my mom, she used to sell on eBay. So that came to my mind, and I went to YouTube and I started seeing YouTubers. I think Rockstar Flipper, the Bonafide Hustler, Rake and Profit. I saw how they all sold on eBay, and I thought, let me give it a chance, and I did. I sold a Spider-Man game, an Xbox game, and then after that, I started hitting up the Goodwills. I started selling used clothing, and I used to sell anything and everything, and I sold stuff that wouldn't even sell, and that's what made me a better seller today. From all my failures, I now I know what sells and what doesn't sell, and that's why I like Amazon so much, because I have the tools for Amazon where I could see if a product actually sells. And also what I've seen for being a seller on both platforms, a lot of times I could use what I know for Amazon, and I could use it over to eBay. So if it's a good seller on Amazon, most likely it's a good seller on eBay. What's up, baby?
So we just started on Amazon 2 weeks ago. But the problem is we can't sell anything.
Oh, you mean you're gated?
We're restricted pretty much on everything. Now, I know it says like you can submit like an invoice, but how do you get invoices for stuff that you're buying like from, say, Walmart clearance? I mean...
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, on Amazon, I guess that's the good thing about it. It seems like a barrier of entry is a bad thing, but it actually, the price is sweet at the end of
Correct.
At the end of the tunnel, or however you say that. Because once you do get ungated, you're one of the few people that actually did all the hard work to get ungated. So that means there's less people selling what you want to sell. And a lot of people, like 90% of the people, probably aren't willing to do that. So once you do that, you'll see that you won't have a lot of competition, and there's higher profits and stuff that's gated like that.
Yeah.
So like me, I don't like, if you see other people, they'll be like, I'll charge you for this course and all that. I just tell people what I do, which is I've got it ungated in groceries and topicals, and on both those categories, I use Frontier Co-op wholesale. You got to make sure it's the wholesale store, because they have a regular store and they have the wholesale store. So for the wholesale store, I don't even think they asked me for my tax permit. I'm not too sure. I don't remember putting that in, but you can put it in so you could save on tax. So Frontier Co-op wholesale. I know for groceries, I bought so on Amazon, you have to buy 10 units of a product. That's the minimum. So for groceries, I bought 10 enchilada sauce packets. And I think I paid, with shipping and everything, I paid less than $25. And all in, after I got the item, took 4 days, 5 days. And then a day or two later, so it was 7 days in total, I was ungated in groceries.
No, so because
I can sell a bunch of groceries.
So they sent you the invoice with your address on it and everything, and that's what you use to get on. So because once you get ungated in that category, you're good.
Yeah, it's the whole category. I mean, there'll still be certain brands that you cannot sell, and you have to.
So you put all that effort in for one smaller item, but that opened this huge gate of groceries. Other than small little ones.
Yeah, groceries will be open, but you'll still find brands within the category that you are restricted to sell. So you have to do the same thing, but for that specific brand to get unrestricted in selling that brand. Like if you get ungated in topicals, which is basically like the beauty category, you'd still have to get ungated in Burt's Bees. Or you could just kill two birds with one stone, get Burt's Bees, which is in topicals, like the chapstick. You get ungated in that brand and topicals at the same time. So that's killing two birds with one stone.
Interesting.
You want to make sure the product, when you're getting ungated, you have to make sure that product has a listing on Amazon. So when you do get your product in the mail, you'll get your invoice, and then once you're gonna get ungated, you'll submit. I just take a picture of it with my phone, and then it asks you to take a picture of the product you're gonna sell. It asks you to take a picture of all 6 sides of the product. So I just do it with my phone real quick, send it in, and it works.
That's interesting. Okay. I mean, I agree with you too. You have less competition on there, and you can. There's certain things on there that do sell better than they do on eBay.
Yeah, and a lot of people are scared to sell on Amazon.
See, I was.
I was too.
I definitely was. I mean, for a while, but then my wife signed up because for some reason I could not get to the page to do it, and she signed up, so she listed some books. That was the first thing she did. And I know that there's certain books that we can't sell, but there's certain books we can. And we just tried to list some things just to try to get through the process and see what it's all about. Because honestly, at some point, I would love to be able to do the whole send the stuff into Amazon and let them ship it. So
yeah, Amazon FBA.
Yeah,
built by Amazon.
That's where I want to. That's where I want to get to.
Yeah, for books. I sound like a cliche, but books is the best way to start.
Yep.
You have a low buy cost, and the margins are phenomenal. I go to these Amazon bin stores. I have 3 of them in my city, and it's actually a trip because I worked in the oil field for a little while, for 2 years, and then they lowered my pay and my hours, so I went from making $6,000 a month. I went down to $2,700 or something, and I got stressed out because I was living up here, and then my bills.
Right.
I got really stressed out, and one day I just quit my job, and I've been a full-time reseller ever since.
So Mike wants to know: is that what you do, the fulfill by the merchant, or what do you?
I do both. I started backwards. I started doing FBA first, and only 3 or 4 months ago I started doing merchant fulfilled. But
can you explain?
FBA, you put everything in a box, and then Amazon takes care of the rest.
Yep.
Okay. And how does FBA work then?
FBM?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So it's the same way. It's real simple. So when you do fulfilled by Amazon, you make listings for all your products, and then you make a shipment for them. You put them on a box. You put your labels on it. Send it to Amazon. It takes a day, 2 days, 3 days. Gets to the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, a lot of my stuff goes to Dallas, Texas. I'm in El Paso, Texas. It goes to Dallas, Texas. And what I've known about that one specific fulfillment center is that my stuff doesn't become live right away. Some of it does, but majority of it doesn't. And I guess that's like a redistribution center. Like it'll go to that Dallas center, and then from the Dallas center, they'll redistribute it across the country. So when I got back to selling in March on Amazon. So I haven't been selling recently. Haven't been selling on it for that long. But what I noticed is that I was brand new. I needed capital to keep the money rolling in. So I was like, well, let me try this whole merchant fulfill thing. So I started doing that, and I started making sales real fast and fulfilling the items myself. And I started seeing money come back to me faster. So I do a little bit of both, but I do prefer doing FBA because once you put in that box, it's not completely passive, but once it's in that box, it feels like passive income after that because you're making money while you sleep.
We have one more guest about to join us.
Can I fangirl now?
Well, I don't think that's who you know it is.
I think I do.
I think you do too. So,
hey,
how are you?
Hey, Dom.
What's going on? I am
Good, you?
Hey, Dan. I heard this was the first Tuesday night show, and
It is.
Thank
I
you.
had an
Yes.
opportunity to take part in history, and so,
Yeah.
We had to get off on Mondays because we were really competing with the NFL and Joey Bada Bing. So
I don't know. There's this primetime guy or something that he likes to pop on Monday night too, and it's like
that was rare. That was just last Monday I did that, but usually it's Wednesday nights live shows. Yeah, so tomorrow
wait,
night.
but didn't you have some premiere or something yesterday? Remember, I got my
I
days.
did
all
have a
mixed up?
premiere. I did. You never know when those could happen.
and I like I told Angie when we were trying to figure out what day to do this, it's like we're going to compete with somebody.
You're going
Yeah.
to. It's just inevitable. Like sometimes the best night for me to premiere a show, based on my regular work schedule is Tuesday nights at 9:00. Well, guess what? Cat the Nurse Flipper is on at that time, and sometimes she has Crazy Lamp Lady on, in which there's 1,000 viewers in the chat. But
Wow.
yeah. So, but my feeling of it is just like you said, is that there's always going to be competition, and that live show is going to end at some point, and what I'm putting up is pre-recorded, and hopefully people will spill over into it at some point, and what are you going to do? It's just what it is.
And also too,
Right.
and also what's nice too is people can go back and watch these.
Right.
And
Right.
that's the
People can go
greatest
back
thing
and watch
about
the
these
lives.
lives. Yeah.
Except tonight
exactly.
they'll say, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I missed. Dom was even on."
No, you're too nice. The problem with YouTube though is the way, and I don't like that they do this, but they treat lives differently than they treat pre-recordeds. So they don't give the live shows as much of a bump unless there's like truly something incredible that happened on the show, or something that really grabbed the headline, or something.
Sure.
But beyond that, they tend to treat the pre-recorded ones better in terms of replayability.
And the algorithm at recognizing it and pushing it.
I think the reason for that is because I haven't been told this, but just my way of thinking about it is that they might think that anyone could just hit the record button. And so it's much easier to make a live show. Although depending on how you do your live show, there could be a lot of stuff that goes into it behind the scenes. So that's not really fair. But it is true. Yeah, anyone could just press. But then again, anyone could record something and upload it too. But so I'm not exactly sure their reasoning, but that's
so
I know.
Of course, I'm seriously fangirling, and there's probably several others that are the same way in our chat. But maybe you can introduce yourself and tell everybody how long you've been doing YouTube, because like all of us are like, well, there's a few of us that are like, yeah, okay, I hit 120 a few weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah, look at me.
I hit 839 today, and I was happy.
My mom my kids can't believe that I have a YouTube channel. I have 120 subscribers, and I'm like,
yes.
We all videos.
Right. We all came from there at one point. I did subscribe to this channel as well. So
Thank you.
just so you know.
Oh
So
boy.
but yeah, no, I've been reselling. I mean, it depends how long you want to define reselling. I mean, the long and the short of it is I started reselling comic books when I was a teenager at the Englishtown auction in Freehold, New Jersey. I just took my extra comic books there and would sell them. But then I started on eBay right around the time eBay started. Actually, it was a little bit after, so around 1999, 2000. That at that point, eBay was just an auction site, and so there was no such thing as buy it now. There was no such thing as checking comps. There was no such thing as using the app. None of that stuff. It was it was just based on your eye and what you saw it looked cool, and then bring it back, and hopefully there wasn't someone else who had 500 of them also listed, which was a bummer. So the app really changed a lot of things, and being able to use the internet and stuff when you're out. But then for those who don't know, I mean, I feel like I do this full time, but it is part time technically. But I work full time as a neuropsychologist in a hospital, and so I try to balance this and YouTube around that schedule. And so I was doing a lot of reselling back in the day when I started on the weekends during graduate school time. My wife, Mrs. Primetime, and I would go out, and we've been, doing it on and off to this day. Although I really kind of kicked back into it like really hardcore probably about 4 years ago, and I've been just at an increasing clip since that point. I started a Facebook group, the Reselling Resource Center, and the YouTube channel about 3 years ago. So the YouTube's up to 33,000, and the Facebook group is at about 28,000 members. And so, but yeah, I remember the moment I got my first YouTube subscriber. I actually interviewed him on my channel once. It was hilarious because he actually happened to have a YouTube channel, and he happened to subscribe, and he was the first subscriber. And we did a great show together on just getting things that are replenishables. If you ever go to the video on my channel about replenishables, that guy was my first subscriber. So we talked about that. It was crazy. But yeah, we all started somewhere.
I wonder if I could interview this primetime guy for my little channel.
Yeah, listen, I'm big on that. That if you have a quote unquote bigger channel, that you should help out people who are at a level that you were once at. That you shouldn't really ever get to the point where you feel like you're too big for anybody else who's underneath you. That's cool. Not how it should work. I mean, really, in terms of one of the things that gave me a boost when I started out on YouTube was Wade from Wade's Ventures channel reached out to me because he used to do interview shows, just one-on-one interview shows. He did them for like a year or so, maybe even a little bit more. And he invited me to come on. And that was my I had videos beforehand, just like my own, but someone saw them, told Wade about it, and Wade reached out, and I came on, and then just kind of went from there. But if it wasn't for Wade and other people helping me out along the way as well, like Rake and Profit, right? Now, that guy did not have to have me come over to his place and shoot 6 videos with me. Craigslist Hunter never had to give me a shout out and put me in his videos. Rockstar Flipper didn't have to come on. Rally Roots didn't have to come on. None of these people. These people still have bigger viewer bases than I do, but they've always been gracious to help me out. So I always hope to pass that on and kind of carry that on with others, and basically think that's how the community should work.
That's why I'm here, because Yinzer, I was just starting, and Yinzer was like, "You got to do this," and so
yeah. I mean, we both kind of started at the same time, though. Yeah. And I probably started a little bit before you, but I mean, you were always in all the chats.
But this community is great. This is a great community,
and that's like what you just said is we wouldn't have any subscribers if it wasn't for these people. And that's why I like doing the lives, because I feel that you can almost like it's easier to communicate in the lives. You feel like it's actually instead of somebody commenting on a video. I think I love doing the lives. At first, I was like, nobody's going to watch these, and I mean, we don't have the views like all these other bigger channels have, but maybe one day. But you have to work up to that, though.
Yeah,
you just slowly build it. I mean, unless you came up with like some viral video that all of a sudden everyone starts watching you, which is rare. You're just slowly building your base up, and keep communicating with the people who leave comments on your videos and interact. Like Angie knows, I'm constantly communicating with her and other people through various social media networks. And that's another thing. Like you can't, I mean, I guess there does come a point maybe if you have like, let's say 100,000 subscribers or 150,000 subscribers that it could be difficult to respond to every comment. I think people understand that at that point, but as much as you can while you're building up to that, you try to respond to as much as you possibly can. Because if someone's taking the time to comment on your video, you know, that's nice. And so you try to respond back, and people like that interactivity.
Well, I was going to say too, usually like your bigger channels, they'll respond up to so many days. And then once it gets sold, they just can't possibly keep going back. So that I understand, you know, but there are some people that they respond to everything, and that's great too.
There are. And sometimes it's tricky because YouTube will sometimes hide comments. So, and unless you go into your area where you can view them, which I don't always go into, someone could think, well, a comment got deleted and I never saw it, you know? So, and if you have like my channel, I have almost 950 videos at this point. There's people come in and respond and comment on a video that's 3 years ago. And so I may not see it like immediately. It just depends. So it gets trickier to manage as the channel grows.
Yeah, I was going to give you a plug. Do you remember the teapot that you guys tried to sell the other night?
The teapot.
You probably don't remember.
The teapot
on the Buy It Now-a-thon.
On the Buy It Now-a-thon? Wait.
Yeah, it sold yesterday.
Oh, your teapot.
Cow?
Your teapot. Yeah, I remember that.
So Dom has a fantastic show. Is it once a month now? Is that what you decided on?
We're trying to do that. The Buy It Now-a-thon once a month. I'm not sure if October will work with our schedules, but we'll definitely have one in November.
Okay. So it's really cool that if you happen to buy an item and it's the one that he and his co-host have earmarked, then you get a choice whether you get to put an item from your store up for sale or if you just get a free item with what you bought. And so I just happened. So I'm one of I wouldn't say I'm a gambler, but I'm sitting there going, okay, I haven't had a person for a while. And I'm like, ooh, I bought these cute little salt and pepper shakers. And so I happened to be what he picked. And they tried to try to sell this cute little cow teapot. Anyway, it sold today full price. So can't beat that.
That's awesome.
So anyway, that's a really cool show idea. I really liked it. So
thanks. Yeah, that's another thing I would suggest. I mean, one of the things I try to do is I try to change the content up and try to bring fresh ideas in. Because I think it's important to try to innovate in the space, even in pre-recorded videos too. Like I'm constantly changing the way I'm doing things. In fact, my next video will probably be different than the traditional voiceover that you're used to. I'm going to try a little something different on that one. So we'll see, you know, we're just trying to mix things up because, you know, you don't want your audience to just get bored of the same old thing.
And that's why we're doing Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday instead of Monday.
What's up, Dan? I feel like we haven't talked to each other yet.
I know. You know what? This whole thing is weird for me because I'm one of those shy people that never thought he'd be a YouTuber.
Oh, so, you did. And there you go.
I was the same way.
I have videos for like the past 4 years, but it was never like my intention to become big on YouTube till about like 2-3 months ago. I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna make an Instagram page. I'm gonna make a YouTube, and I'm gonna try my best to be on camera and show people what I know. So I think it's cool how we all have that connection because, like you were talking about Raking Profit and Rockstar. Did you say Rockstar Flipper too, right?
Yeah.
Those are some of the first people that I saw that got me into this, and now look at me. I'm here talking to you guys, and we have all the same people we look up to. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. So I watch a lot of documentaries and biographies on famous people and stuff, and I love getting their backstories. And a lot of them, it's interesting, whatever they wound up doing for like a profession or a career, and you go back, a lot of them, they didn't even intend on going into whatever it was that they wound up doing. It just kind of circumstances in life just kind of brought them there. And then it just kind of worked out with some combination of hard work, good circumstances, a little bit of luck, and you know, some skill and stuff, and then it worked out. So you never know what you know. You might be at 100,000 subscribers next year. You know, you never know.
I'm trying to get to 400. I'm right there.
That's right. That's right. You got to start somewhere.
and the whole YouTube, like when we start, like my kids talked us into this channel. They're like, because we started watching over COVID, and we're like, my kid's like, why don't you do this?
Wait, do you guys know what that is? That's the Mountain Dew shot.
Oh, yeah. I got this from Susan from Vintage Vagabond Ben's YouTube channel. It's this Gator, which serves as a cup, as you can see. But the cool thing about it, let me finish this off, is that when you turn it over, I'm trying to make it not spill stuff, but it's like a gator display. I love alligator stuff. So I do that a lot. Like I try to work things in from viewers into the shows. So like this is an example. So we call them Gator Do shots. And like there's a lot of stuff behind me that actually come from viewers. And so you know, and I try to work them into the pre-recorded shows and stuff like that. So
that's
shout outs and stuff. So it's just a good way to connect with your base.
I want to give another shout out. Desiree is part of the Desiree and Connor Hoog. They are at almost 700 subscribers, or maybe it's 800. I don't know, but
congratulations. They beat me, by the way, in the reseller.
Sorry, was I not supposed to bring that up?
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's
they actually won, so at least they won.
Well,
they
knocked me,
See, if I'm knocked me out first round.
If I'm gonna lose, I want to lose to the champion. So there you go.
And that's what I said. I was like, hey, they beat me the first round, and at least the winner beat me. So
right
there you go.
It was an honor to be in that bracket challenge, and it was fun.
Yeah,
I had a blast.
You were the lowest subscriber count, but you put out videos all the time. I mean, you are very good at making sure you get your videos out.
I try. I mean, that's the one thing. It's just being consistent, and
that's hard.
It is hard. And I mean, there was a month like I said, when my kids talked us into this channel, I thought, oh, this is gonna be easy. Well, I was completely wrong, because I thought, oh, you're gonna sign up, put videos out. It's just gonna it's not that easy. But you work at it, and there was a month where we did a video a day.
Oof.
And at the end of that month, I was like, there's no way. Like
when I started my channel, I did that towards the beginning for approximately a 3-month clip. I did not miss a video for 3 months.
Wow.
Every day. Wow. Whether or not there were some videos, if you go back then, that
were you actually working?
Yeah, I was literally.
So it wasn't during COVID or something where you were down.
Oh yeah, no, this was before that. Yeah, so I would literally be up at 4 in the morning shooting a video right down here in this very space, and I would have to be. I know I have to leave for work at like 6:30. I would actually say that like some people would see like I was so tired, like, but I was just trying to like stay consistent and get it done. I wouldn't really recommend that. So, but at that point I was just grinding on it, and now it's different. But back then, yeah. So I know it's tough. It's tough to put out quality videos too at that kind of clip. So it's very hard.
Yeah, I mean we're part-time too, so it's trying to balance between kids, work, and this. It's right. You have to find that perfect balance for everything.
Yeah, it's constant.
Did you hear that Daniel was a phlebotomist? I mean, so that's kind of
No, well, there's a lot of people who are in the medical profession who or some kind of healthcare related job who are doing this. I mean,
I graduated X-ray tech school, and I never got my license, and I just went a different direction, and now I'm a full-time reseller. But yeah, I went to school for X-ray technology.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Daniel, you are the Amazon guy. I mean, one of these days I'm going to actually sit down and be like, okay, I've got to figure this out.
I'm a small fry right now, but I'm growing little. I'm showing people how you can grow being a normal person with not a lot of capital to start. Like I started from my first month, I did like $400, and now I'm doing like 8,000 in my gross. So I'm not the biggest seller in the world, but every month I go up even more. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I do and keep growing. 1 month, pretty soon I'll probably be at 20,000 a month. You know, I'm just gonna keep hustling.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you got to do.
Hey, and every sale, every little sale counts, and I mean, and that's why we try to show in our videos. When we do what's sold video, and it's like, hey, if we make a buck, we make a buck, but at least we sold it. We didn't lose money, so
yeah. Right. So Dom, you don't have a death pile? This is Tuesday
I
night.
refuse to I refuse to conceptualize it as a death pile. I
Okay.
think of it as a profit pile that
Profit
I just
pile.
haven't
There you
gotten to yet, which became more important when all those restrictions happened during COVID and people couldn't go out and source. And so people were back. It was so funny because before that, people always made videos. Oh, I hate my death pile. I hate my death pile. And then everyone was like, wait a minute. Where's all that stuff? Because I need it right now, and so that's what everyone was using. So, but yeah, no, I consider it like backstocker stuff, just stuff that I'm just waiting to get to. It doesn't really stress me out. I just kind of know where it is, and I just strategically hit it at different points. And I just got to make sure I don't get to the point where it starts overflowing to the point where I can't store it anymore. That's where it would become a problem. So unfortunately, it's not at that point, but if it did, then yeah, it'd be concerning.
Now, is Amazon anything like eBay as far as I've heard that Amazon is so much easier that you don't have to take 50 pictures. So like if somebody, well, you want more new stuff though, right?
Well, yeah.
For Amazon,
a lot of people are scared of it because they're so strict, and you could be a player in their platform. You could be selling items like crazy, and one day you're shut down, your account's suspended. You weren't following the rules, so you got to be real careful with them. And you got to keep your receipts. And yeah, it is easy. Like when I do the merchant fulfilling, now that I'm starting to do that, I could list that I have 10 of a product. All 10 can sell within an hour. Like that's how fast Amazon works. And I could sell stuff I don't even like own. I could sell something from the store that I see is always in stock. I see it sells for $2-3 or $5, and then on Amazon it sells for $15 to $20. And every time it sells, I'll go pick it up. And so I'm giving you guys what I do. that's what I've been doing lately, and it's working for me. And I'm selling things I don't even have. I don't even have possession of.
Yeah. Have you ever been burned by that though? Like, I drink Diet Cherry Pepsi, and the only place I can get it is my local Walmart. And for 3 days now, they have had 0, and I'm about ready to go into a addiction like withdrawal.
Yeah, like
but I would just be nervous that would happen.
I'll do my research. I'll check because I'm in a bigger city. I'm not in the biggest city, but El Paso has close to 1 million people. So I see how many Sam's Clubs I have. I see how many Walmarts I have. I'll go to their websites, their apps. I'll see how many they have in stock. I'm always at the stores, so I go and I check. I see that there's pallets at Sam's Club of this certain item. And yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with it. I mean, I don't want to always be doing that. I'm kind of just doing that to boost me up a little bit. I would rather buy the item and send it into FBA, but I've been doing this to boost my sales up, and yeah, it's worked so far, and I haven't been burned or nothing like that. I guess because
it might not be something a beginner would do, but it might be something that somebody like yourself, once you feel the flow of it and you know better, you probably can get away with it more than maybe somebody like myself. I'd probably get burned.
Yeah.
Just like with eBay, there are some things I just won't play with because I know better. So you just never know.
I mean, I heard a lot of people do that. I mean, I don't know if it'd be good for you because of where you're at in Iowa, but if you're closer to that bigger city and have access to that stuff,
right?
It could work, but yeah, you'd have to be careful though.
Yeah.
Jovi's going to bed.
Yeah.
Good night, Jovi. Thanks for stopping.
I'm not good with names, so.
Oh, that one I know. There's not very many that I can always remember, but.
My wife said my kid will not sleep upstairs.
Guessing
that's the little one. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard about Primetime. I know your dad, but I don't know how many. Just one? Or is that
two? How many kids?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 kids.
Okay.
2 kids. Yeah, boy and girl. Primetime.
I always hear about Mrs. Primetime.
Well, there's Primetime Junior and there's Little Miss Primetime.
Okay.
So that's their official names on the channel.
Sure.
More money at FBM than FBA.
See, I don't quite get all that yet.
Oh, for me, this has never happened to me, but they're doing storage limits, Amazon FBA, and like when I look it up on my account, I was making a shipment yesterday morning. I was about to send a shipment in, and I clicked to work on my shipment to send it in, and it said I reached my limit. So right now I'm doing fulfilled by merchant FBM, and I had never run into that problem before. So it says I can only have 1,000 items in my inventory. I guess because I'm a smaller seller, and I hit like close to 1,300 right now.
It's not just that. It also started after the pandemic. They started putting restrictions on things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can my limits get increased? See, I'm still learning as I go too. I'm wondering if
I'm not
can
sure. That I don't know, but I know that's why, because it used to be no limits.
Yeah.
After that,
last year,
they needed more room for like basic necessities and stuff to get sent out, and so they started to put limits in, and they said it's never going to be like it used to be. The days of, I mean, I even read an article. It said the days of no limit FBA is over forever. So that's one thing that permanently changed. So
now when you send stuff in too, after it sits there for so long, they start charging the storage fee, don't they?
Yeah,
they do. Yep.
Okay.
I want to be clear. I'm not an Amazon seller, but this is what I know from reading and talking to a lot of other people.
Yeah, we just got started on it like 2 weeks ago, so we're still like in that whole trying to learn everything about it, because it was kind of at the beginning, we were just like, do we really want to do this? But it could open up another avenue, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
because Mike has nothing else happening. He's
Correct.
only got like 1 or 2 things happening.
I know. Yeah, it's just something else to add to our plate, and
well,
I'm hoping my wife will focus on doing a lot of the Amazon stuff, but we're only going to focus on certain items too, though. So, I mean, it could be items that we'd sell on eBay anyway. So if we can sell them on there faster and for more money, that's what we're going to do.
Besides the seller app that you're going to utilize all the time, Keepa.com, it's I pay like $22 a month, but that is key as an Amazon seller, because you could look at the price history of an item for years. I'm not sure how many years. I know for sure 3. I don't know if it goes like the whole lifetime of the item or not, but for sure it's 3. And you can see like trends of the item. You can see the seasons, how it's sold. And just by looking, you can see if Amazon's on the listing, how many times they've sold it throughout the months, how many times they don't sell it. If they've never sold it, you can see. So if you're on Keepa.com and you see Amazon's never sold it, and it's only been third-party sellers like me, that's something that I would want to sell that item, because if there's not a lot of competition and Amazon doesn't sell it, I know Amazon won't come in and take the price. There's not a lot of sellers on it. They won't take the price. So having Keepa on Amazon, that's how you're going to make money. And it's the $20 a month is well worth it.
That's interesting. So Cheryl said she applied for Amazon, never followed through. Are they forgiving, and can she start all over again?
I'm not too sure, because
I'm not either.
I got approved, and I've never heard of anybody who didn't get approved, but I know it happens, but I don't know what she would have to do to get the ball rolling again. Because they didn't used to make you verify your address and all that. Now they send you a postcard. You guys got
ours
a postcard,
came
right?
quick.
You had to verify your address.
Yeah, it came within like 2 days. Which I got
mine like in 2 days, and then it took 2 weeks to talk to somebody from India.
See, we didn't have to talk to anybody.
Oh, you guys didn't? I had to talk to somebody from India. You have to hold your ID up, and
they didn't make us do that.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, they didn't make us do that. I heard that's happened with other people, but yeah, we never had to talk to anybody, so I guess we got lucky.
So Dom, is your special voices through your microphone, or is that through your computer?
What special voices?
That's cool.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say that, I hate to change the subject, but I thought I'd get back to YouTube a little bit. That those are characteristics that you can trademark your. I mean, of course, nobody has a Darth Vader voice, like yours, but I just.
There's also not too many channels you'll go to where you'll hear someone talking like this either. So that's another issue. That's my elderly voice that I'm currently working on. So you never know when that might.
Okay.
So I have a voice changer that I use, and so that's how I mix up all these different voices and stuff on the live shows. People seem to like it. I'm sure there are a few people who hate it, but the vast majority seem to like it. So that's why I keep doing it.
Can't make everybody happy.
No, you
Yeah,
cannot.
and that's
You
the
cannot.
thing. In fact, we were watching a little bit of Marcus Dixon's Pickens with Prison to Profit, and they were talking a little bit how you make a video and you're like, oh, this is great, this was so awesome, and then you put it out there and you get barely any feedback, and then you make a video where you're just like, oh, I just don't know, and you put it out there and everybody's like, awesome, we loved it, and it's just like,
Right. So a good example of that was when, well, I thought it would be a popular video, but I didn't expect what happened with it. The video I did called "They Want It Back,"
oh,
when I
sure.
found the signed Frank Sinatra piece at the estate sale, and then the family member contacted me and wanted it back. I mean, that thing took off. I mean, so two things about that. First of all, that video got over 150,000 views or something like that. And I wasn't sure because I didn't poll anyone ahead of time in terms of the decision that I was going to make about whether I should give that back or sell it back, or if I do sell it back, or what price I should sell it back. I wasn't sure if I was going to get roasted by the community based on the decision that I made, or if they were going to be supportive. Like, I didn't poll anyone in advance. I didn't do a video saying, what should I do? Let me know. And then I'll show you the follow up. I just did it based on the logic of the situation and just my own morals and just how I felt on it. And it was funny ahead of time. Everyone was like, don't give it back. Too bad for them. Don't give it back. Like, all the comments were like, don't give it back. And but then when they saw what I did and my reasoning and everything, it was funny. Like, everyone flipped and changed, and it was overall very supportive. I was actually pretty surprised, pleasantly surprised. But yeah, you just never know. Never know.
Right. Well, I mean, but I think with something like that, at the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror,
Right.
and
Right.
maybe YouTube won't like it, because there are times where maybe you'll catch something on video where somebody's going off on somebody and people immediately judge that that was wrong, but you didn't see what happened before that. And it's like, if you're not getting the whole context and the whole situation, and I think you relayed that pretty well, that it wasn't just, hey, I got this box of stuff and the person was like, give it back.
Right.
They weren't like that to you. At least it didn't come across that way.
Right. I set up the context of it, and I try to do that in my videos. But at the same time, I do try to, over time, sit back and think about things that I'm doing wrong with my channel, things that I might need to fix, things that I need to adjust. I actually did a video once. Literally, the title of the video is called "Thumbs Down on My YouTube Channel." That's literally what it's called. And I literally just opened up and just said, hey, put any criticism you want of the channel, of me, of the videos in a comment section, and or you could private message them to me, or you could put them. I even put it in my Facebook group. I said you could put comments there or whatever. And I did adjust a lot of things. I mean, for most people who do YouTube, they didn't come into it with a communications degree, and even if they did, YouTube is a very specific type of way to communicate with people. And there's ways to do it, and there's ways to totally mess it up. And there's a lot of lessons and stuff that I learned over time that I'm still learning and trying to keep fixing and adjusting. So you do have to be open to that. But yeah, there's no way to please everybody.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, great example is my intro that I have sometimes. The one with the jungle music and the roar at the end, the big roar. I love that. When I first put it out, everyone was like, oh, we love it, we love it, we love it. Everyone said they liked it. Well, when I did that video, thumbs down on my YouTube channel, one of the things that I learned was about half my audience did love it and half my audience hated it. And one of the reasons they hated it is that when I got it, that the people who hated it, is that when I had it made and it was sent to me, the volume was really loud on it. Like, it came with loud volume. And I never realized that I could actually lower that volume and make it consistent with the rest of the volume. So people would tell me, like, yeah, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I press your video. It starts out like normal. Then it goes into this thing and it wakes up like the whole house. So I've learned since then to just like lower that. And sometimes people are like, well, you know what? We don't want a 20-second intro, before we just want to get right into it. So since that point, I have mostly taken the intro out, but then every once in a while I bring it back in because ironically, I then get people say, I wish you never took your intro away. I wish you would bring your intro back. I miss your intro. I love your intro. I love the roar. I love the jungle music, all that stuff.
Right.
So, you got to find that balance because in that situation, you literally are going to make half your audience mad and half your audience happy. So, I think that the ones who don't like it will put up with it more if it's more like an occasional thing.
Well, they have this thing called the fast forward button. Oh, but you're talking about when it's live. When it's live,
I never used it when it was live. I tried to once, but it didn't work. So no, it was always when it was pre-recorded. So yeah, you're right about that.
So, and you can go back on your demographics or your YouTube analytics and see a percentage.
Right. Which is a very good piece of advice, Angie, that people who are trying to grow their channels should look at their YouTube analytics. One of the best things to look at is your audience chart and see if there's anything you're doing that's causing people to drop off. And if so, figure out what did I do at that spot in the video? What I say, what I do, what was different about it, and don't try not to do that again or try to adjust it and fix it.
Right. Because there are several certain people that whatever happens in that particular part, maybe it's personally, if and this is just me, is if you're at a garage sale and you're not talking and you're walking up to the garage sale, I just click, that 10 seconds, because I have 500 other videos I want to watch. And it's like, well, I got to see what so-and-so found today because that's so cool. And then I'll be watching them like, okay, they're getting out of the car. Okay, they're not even talking. Now, it's different when somebody will pop up, this is where I am, or I'm a little partial, but there are times where you'll be like, I have my radar thing. You're just adding different humor to it.
Right.
Sometimes that will keep your audience. And
sometimes I feel like too, like when I walk up to a garage sale and I'm by myself, if I start talking to myself, people are gonna look at me like, what's this guy doing? So there's things that we've changed when we do that now. You might add some music or just throw some text up there to this.
Yep.
Right. Or you can do voiceover or trivia.
Because when we go and film, when I come back and edit, I hate coming back and editing and looking and saying, I cannot believe I missed that.
Oh, and your audience will definitely make sure they mention that to you.
Like we were at the Goodwill bins and I found an Xbox. Oh, we were at the Goodwill bins and I found an Xbox power cord. I was like, oh, look at this power cord. When I got home and edited the video, I pulled the power cord out of the Xbox and never even noticed the Xbox. But I was like, I cannot believe I missed it. It happens.
Right. But it's interesting, and this is one of the things that I've evolved with over time too, is that when I started doing sourcing videos, I always talked at the scene, and I didn't care. I just talked. And some people would I just noticed, like, psychologically it was interesting. Just people would just be like, okay, like, I don't know, that's kind of weird, but whatever. Like, they just they didn't say anything. Then I started experimenting with doing voiceovers, which is a lot of people responded to that they liked the voiceovers. They enjoyed that. Here's the problem though with doing voiceovers, if you've ever done them, is that
I tried it once.
It's so much more work.
It's hard
compared to doing it the other way.
Okay.
That's really the main thing, is that it's a lot of extra work to do the voiceover, because you're never going to always say everything right the first time. You're going to have to do retakes and redos and stuff like that. So it is a lot of extra stuff. So this is what I was talking about in my next video. I'm going to change things up a little bit, because one of the things I've noticed is that if you go to some of the bigger channels, like channels that are bigger than mine too, that do sourcing videos, and you see how they structure their sourcing videos, a lot of them are just, and maybe people in the audience who watch them could comment why they like this, but they do a lot. There's just a lot of just raw footage of just someone going through stuff, and you just hear the noise, the background noise. And I was showing it to Mrs. Primetime tonight. My wife was just showing like a little preview of what I was thinking of doing in the next video, which was doing some of that approach, showing some of that raw footage of me searching through something, and then adding in some voiceover at select points, and then maybe just a live shot of me talking about something. So more of a back and forth kind of integration of different methods and approaches. So, but that's just a style I'm going to try to come to, and we'll see what happens with it. But that's why I say you got to kind of roll with the flow, because audiences preferences, they change over time. So you got to constantly kind of be in tune. What do people like? What are people interested in?
Now what software do you guys use to edit your videos with?
I'm very basic.
I use InShot for the cell phone. I don't use any computer software.
What do you use?
InShot.
InShot.
INSHOT. InShot.
Yeah. On my phone, it's a great program that's gotten even better over the last few months. I use a program called Movavi, Movavi. It's absolutely terrific. I mean, you could do so much stuff on it just on your phone.
Oh, okay.
You got to pay like a one-time fee of like, I don't even remember what it is, not much, like $20 or something to get the watermark out. And that's it.
Yeah, I paid like 30, I think, for mine for lifetime.
Okay. Yeah, and it might even originally it was $12, then they increased it or something. But and I don't do much I don't do anything well, actually that's not true. I do some pre-recorded stuff on the laptop like this, but that's all just done through StreamYard, and I just basically talk into StreamYard, and that's.
Can you spell that again? Is it Movavi?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it is a lot of work when you do the voiceovers for editing. So like me, I'm trying to like talk while I'm at these. Cause I go to the bins a lot, the Amazon bins, and I'll be talking. I just don't care what people think anymore. I mean, I do a little bit, but they look at me and I'm just like, whatever. I just keep talking. I just keep talking to myself like a crazy person. But I'm like, I'm not gonna see these people ever again, probably, or maybe they will realize I'm a YouTuber or something, and they just move along. So.
Well, see, our issue now in our area near Pittsburgh is another guy on YouTube. It's like 8 miles from me. We've never met before, but a lot of our Goodwills now will not allow us to film. They are threatening to have us arrested. So
right. Yep. And I'm dealing with that at estate sales. Now I actually mentioned that in a prior video, because if you didn't see, for people who didn't go to my channel and see the video called my best estate sale find ever, and then go watch the They Want It Back video, and you'll see all the drama that happened. And
the ones that say Dom is no longer allowed here.
Right. Then that one after
like pretty close.
Yeah, well, the one after it's called Banned.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. So, and then word got around, and then last estate sale that I went to, I did a video on. They didn't want, or one of the last ones, they put a sign up, no video recording on the premises, and that is 100% a result of the video that I did. So, it got around to a totally separate dealer. So, that might become even more prevalent around here.
And that's why we will kind of do the whole haul video, and maybe take a couple pictures or sneak a couple videos with your phone to not make it look so obvious. But it's definitely hard.
Yeah. Well, I do all my videos are done with my phone when I go places, so I'm not wearing a camera. Yep. So people joke that I have developed this skill of one-handed photography, because I'm going through things with one hand and I'm filming with the other one. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, I have more control over the device.
Yeah.
And it doesn't create that circular look that you get with the GoPros, where it's like kind of concave. It's more of a, people ask me, they're like, how the heck do you do that? Because everyone thinks I use a GoPro. I'm like, no, I don't use my phone.
I always wonder how people get away with all that GoPro footage, because I've never used the GoPro. I use my iPhone 12. But I see a lot of videos. People have GoPros in Walmarts and different places. I always wonder why nobody ever says nothing, because I've always wondered how they do it so stealth.
Sometimes you can't do it stealth. It just people just don't say. A lot of people just don't say anything. They just ignore it. They don't want to say anything.
Yeah, it's all obvious right there.
It is. It's very obvious. And then the retail arbitrage videos, they have it pinned up on the cart. And for those who do say something, then they make a video of it, which is titled, you're using a camera or why are you using a camera, and that makes people view it because they think there's going to be a confrontation, and usually there
Right.
isn't. Usually
It's
there
usually
isn't.
this little old lady that says,
Right,
"You have a camera on."
right.
No,
And
like when we
like,
do yard sales, I have a GoPro mounted to the book bag. But like when if I do Walmart, Ross, stuff like that, I'll just use my phone and just, hey, it looks like I'm taking a picture or voice or doing like a voice chat with my wife.
Right.
But so it's kind of, you can kind of hide it a little bit.
well, that's why I like the phone, because it is more like, it's common. People have their phone out looking at
Correct.
you. They don't know what I'm doing. So, you know,
Yeah,
rarely.
it's a little bit, you can be a little bit more stealthier with your phone than you can
Exactly.
a GoPro.
Exactly.
The flipping accountant does that, right? He'll have it like on the cart, and then he'll show himself talking to the Walmart employees. You guys ever seen that?
Who's that?
Oh, Justin, flipping
Justin,
accountant.
Yeah,
a flipping accountant.
Yeah,
I
I never
a lot
thought
of
about
Walmart.
mounting it to the cart though, but I'd feel weird going through Walmart with a GoPro on a cart.
Yeah.
But that's just me though.
All this is weird. So at some point,
Right.
And it's weird. Like I've never had anybody ask at a yard sale why I was filming. Never. I've only had people say, "Oh, do you have a YouTube channel? Let me subscribe."
Right.
So, but I would feel that yard sales would be more inclined not to have you film there.
Well-
See, now I'm in a small area and I had my GoPro on, or I've had my phone or whatever. And to me, it's just so awkward walking up to a garage sale or something. And of course, first thing you do is say, "Hey, how you doing?" And I just feel like it's obvious. I mean, it's right there. So I'll just be like, "Yeah, I'm just videoing." And for one, I can truthfully say, "Oh, I only have 100 subscribers. Nobody will ever see this video. It's no big deal." But hopefully I won't be able to say that forever. So
Somebody will see it.
It'll blow up, you know.
It's always gonna be on YouTube. So
Well, but I mean, older people don't get that, especially in small town area where I'm from. They all think that it's just no big deal because your older generation does not get YouTube at all.
Right.
I mean, I try to explain even my husband, and he's not that much older than me, but I'm like, I'm talking live to 10 or 15, 20 people. And then, I'll try to explain that my teapot got on Dom's show. And, I'm all excited. And my husband's just like, okay. And I'm like, you don't get it. My name was in front of, never mind. It's hard to explain, but what I always do, just like we were talking about all the different shows on, I compare it with older people and even people that are my age that don't get it, which I'm not that old, but I'll say, if you can remember back in the day when there was satellite TV and you had 500 TV, and you still can do satellite, but I'm just saying you could watch channels from 1 to 300. It's the same thing with YouTube. I'm on literally Dom's channel, or I'm on so-and-so's channel. And it just depends on how many people are on that channel at that time. So when I'm watching a live, I'll jump. So like Dom might be doing some commercial or doing something fun that I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'll check and see what so-and-so's doing. And then I'll get on so-and-so's channel and I'll be like, wow, that's not what I expected at all. I'm going back to, whatever. So that's why numbers fluctuate all over, because I think people get bored, or we try to acknowledge everybody that's on, but you can only do that up to so many people in the chat. Once the chat gets, I can't even imagine 1,000 people in a chat. I mean, it just gets kind of out of control.
Yep. At a certain point,
and I saw Wisconsin Picker had a question about what it's like to be in a small area. I was going to say it is such a great thing that everybody wants what they can't have. The big city wants what the country people have, and the country people want what the city have. And thankfully, I'm learning more and more about vintage, where I can see something and I'm like, oh, this is really going to sell. People will love this particular thing because it's green and bright and whatever. And so then I can sell that on eBay. So you just have to know what you're looking for, though. That's my new puppy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember you telling me about it earlier.
Come here and say hi. Say hi. Oops. Say
hi.
Oh,
there.
Yeah, don't be knocking me over. Anyway, my dog got hit on Friday.
Around here, it's. You can tell the resellers from just the normal people, and it's. You can go to a yard sale 5 hours after it starts and still find good stuff, because not everybody is looking for the same things. I mean, It's just the way it is. I mean, the first thing it goes at least at yard sales where we're at is video games.
Right.
I mean, they camp out. Like if a sale starts at 7, there's people there at 6 o'clock asking for video games still.
Yeah.
And that's why I really enjoy Dom's channel, because he's the guy that says, I found this box over here in the corner and I dug to the bottom, and I'm like, I'm doing that and I'm finding dumb stuff, but he finds the cool stuff. So
No, you will find the treasures if you keep digging to the bottom of boxes. I promise you that.
Well, actually, I have something cool that I want to show. Believe it or not, you can find the craziest things. I was at the Dollar General, and I always get my boxes there because everybody talks about getting free boxes.
Yeah.
They had this in all of their brand new magazines that are supposed to be out until October 8th. And this is one that, look at that.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, they're brand new. They're supposed to be out on display until October 8th or something.
Bob Ross stuff is really popular too.
Yeah, but I don't know like magazine. I mean, I'll have to get on there, but I would wonder if some magazines you can't do because of Vero.
Because of what?
Vero?
No. There's no magazines you can't do because of Vero.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. Vero. That's when they you're not supposed to sell something on eBay, right?
Right.
I've never had that before. But
there's a lot of stuff that can be Vero.
I've never heard of it happening with a magazine.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
Awesome. Well, and these are like Life. I'm like, wow.
No,
I mean,
and they were just in the recycling.
There's certain things. There's one item that we sell that's on the Vero list, and everybody says, "I can't believe you sell that," and we do, and never had an issue yet. And who knows, it might happen. But
I was gonna say, you're talking on YouTube and telling everybody about it. It's gonna happen.
I mean, I do what sold videos and show them. So
true.
And they're on eBay. I mean,
you guys are talking about yard sales. I've never done yard sales to resell on eBay. Even though I've always sold on eBay, I've always done the thrift stores. I've never done a yard sale to resell on eBay. So I think that's something I might do.
You got to try, man.
You definitely have to.
I've watched the videos and everything, but I've never done that. So maybe I might film that and make a video.
Yard sales are the best for us. I feel like yard sales, garage sales, and estate sales are the three. Like, I haven't been to a Goodwill in probably 3 months just because our yard sales are so good.
Right.
Auctions are really good though too.
We don't have many auctions here. I mean, we have one that's you can buy online, which we have. We bought some old vintage lawn chairs and then sold them on Facebook Marketplace. But that's about all we've bought so far. A couple of my little things.
Well,
nice.
I do appreciate you guys having me on. I do have to jump off because I have to take care of some other stuff. But thanks for the invite earlier today, Angie. I
appreciate you stopping by,
coming on and talking to you, Dan, and nice to be on the Yinzer Picker channel and subscribe. Awesome.
Okay, I might send you another invitation for interview on the Dayton Valley Day show or something.
I would be honored to come on.
We'll see. Thank you so much for coming on. It's nice to see you again.
Thanks. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See, the thing too, like yard sales, like Roman just said, he said around here, they're about done. See, now where you're at, you might have yard sales pretty much all year long because your weather probably stays consistently warm.
Or have you ever been to a church sale? I mean, surely they have.
I guess I'm a boring reseller.
What's that?
I guess I'm a boring reseller because once these bins opened up 2 years ago, we got 3 of them in my city. Like, I just make all my money off these bins.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, at first I was putting everything on eBay. I was finding coffee like crazy. I was finding pet food. I was finding all this different stuff. Now I find a bunch of books. Like nobody looks at the books. Everybody just walks right past them. I'll see it in the bin. It's $2 day. I scan the book and it's worth $230 used.
Yeah. You're
law books.
I don't think you have a problem with sourcing. I really don't.
And honestly,
I don't go to the Goodwill bins much either.
And like she just said, if you have church sales around you, church rummage sales are probably top of the list for us because everything they get is donated and they're just trying to raise some money. So they list stuff, they sell stuff super cheap. But like community yard sales where you could just drive in the community, you can hit 100 houses like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to get that. What is it? That Craigslist app. And it gets cold here. Like Roman said, it gets cold where he's at. But it snows. It snows. Like a few times a year here. But it doesn't get too cold. Maybe the coldest would be like 20 degrees. But
still cold,
it'll stay like around 40, 50 degrees in the winter here. The desert gets kind of cold sometimes though.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just like here, we'll go in the negatives in Pittsburgh. So Roman's in Ohio, so he's pretty close to us. But I'm going to guess. We might have another month, maybe month and a half of yard sales here, and then it'll be estate sales. Still, estate sales will still happen, the auctions. But then it'll be once the yard sales are done, then we'll hit the thrift stores and Goodwills. And I stopped in a Goodwill. I stopped in a thrift store yesterday, and the prices are so much higher than they were 3 months ago. Yeah. So it's almost like they know people are coming in to resell, and it's like now it's like, oh wait, we can get more for this, but it's just
right.
It doesn't happen like that.
They're selling online. They're selling themselves online too, right?
Our Goodwill is not. Our Goodwill's in our area.
I'll scan a book for Amazon and I'll see like who's on the listing, who's selling, and it'll say like Goodwill of Ohio or like just saying random names, but it'll say Goodwill of whatever city. And I'm like, what the hell? Goodwills have their own Amazon store? I'm like, what the hell?
They have their own. Actually, you can actually, if I'm not mistaken, you can buy Goodwill pallets, I think.
Online? Yeah, they have auctions, I think, right?
And they do have auctions, and some of the stuff goes for crazy amounts. And it's like sometimes the pictures aren't that good, and who knows what you're bidding on. So it's very hit or miss.
Yeah, and I used to go to the Goodwill bins in my city, and I had no idea that my bins were like trash. Now that I see these videos of everybody finding Lululemon and all these.
Yeah, we don't find that here.
They find higher end brands. I was finding none of that in my Goodwill bins. We have like all the trash.
And you just mentioned about the Amazon bins. Well, we actually just had one open up actually a few months ago, which I didn't know about it. But we finally have I think it's been open for at least a month or two. So I'm planning on actually stopping by ours tomorrow, I think, just to see what they have, because
from what I've seen, like a lot of people talk bad about these Amazon bins, but I don't know about any other bins but my own, and mine are pretty decent. I'm making a full-time living off these bins, so
I think if you hit it,
you can see the stuff I sell. I find some pretty decent stuff.
And I think you just got to hit it at the right time. There's times you go to Goodwill or a thrift store and you don't find anything, and you go home and you can always say, "Hey, that place is horrible." But if you hit it at the right time, you can see. It's like anything else, yard sales. Or
Q, make sure you give Pam a big hug for us. Tell her we all said hello. Hi, Pam.
My bins, I think, are more expensive. They're $15 now. I know everybody's are like $7 and $8, $5. Ours start at $15, so it's doubled in price.
That's
on
crazy.
Those days. It's mostly like home improvement, fans and lighting. You can still find $100 fans, and even if they're missing a part, you could part them out. I've done that before, but I'm not big on it. But if you really went in there and bought a bunch of fans and a bunch of different home improvement things, you really could make a big business of parting the stuff out. For me, I'd rather do Amazon because I don't got to do all that work. Like, I'm doing decent on Amazon, and I think I'm like doing like 60% out of 100%. So I could just imagine if I was doing 100%, I'd probably be killing it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Great.
On eBay, I was giving it my all, and I was always like stressed out. And with Amazon, I just love it. I'll find something. All right, I got 10 of it. No pictures required. No nothing. Just 10 done.
Right.
Sales, ship it, or do FBA, which I do.
So the way Amazon works is they trust that you know that you have the correct item. Basically, is that kind of it in a nutshell?
Today I think I made a mistake. I sent in some TurboTaxes. I put the wrong listing, I believe. I think I have 2019 and I put that I have 2020. And I sold 2 of them on FBA. So I think I'm about to get 2 returns, but I noticed it right away. And I went in and I closed that listing, so I have to go and fix all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm human. I made that mistake, and
Yeah.
I caught it right away, so that's a good thing. If people are gonna be mad, but I'll give them a refund. I was only into it for $1 each. They sold for 19 each one.
We have somebody else backstage.
We do.
Yeah.
How about that?
You ready?
I think so. There he is. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Going
good.
A man from my neck of the woods. I'm so tired of hearing about Ohio and
these cities and
Pennsylvania,
buildings.
the
and,
city.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a little partial. I'm sorry. Well, awesome.
So
we're on the good side.
So a funny story, how small of a town we live in. I was up, it was a few months ago, and I was at a garage sale, citywide garage sales, and they had a book sale as well. And all of a sudden this guy shows up. He walks up and I'm like, "You the back road bidder?" And he looks at me like, "Wisconsin Picker?" I know.
Oh my goodness. Did he have a cigar hanging out of his mouth?
No, he did not. But yeah, Chuck and I, first time we met. So it was
oh, that's awesome.
Small world.
Hold on, Chuck smokes cigars?
He's just got a funny cartoon picture on his Facebook picture. I don't even know if he smokes cigars. You'll have to ask him. I don't know.
I'm going to ask him.
That is funny though, because really, I mean, you're right. How many people would be in that neck of the woods and be in citywide garage sales? That would make sense.
Right. Well, we live about 15 miles away from each other.
I was going to say, I kind of know where you're from. So yeah. Stomping ground. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in southwestern Wisconsin. So, you know, Pritchett, I'll just say that. I don't care. I don't live there now. So, but that's awesome.
Y'all are Green Bay fans?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not any fan. I don't do sports. I mean, I have
all I gotta do is
football. I have no team.
For the death pile to find some Packers stuff. There's always Packers stuff in the death pile.
Nice.
So
I have a Green Bay hat. I should probably get that posted.
Well, first the Steelers play the Packers this weekend.
Yeah.
So
I should have had it listed already.
Well, it's probably not going to be pretty, but
Green Bay is going to smoke them, right?
Probably.
Is that what you're saying?
But while I'm at work, I listen to the Pat McAfee show. And on Tuesdays, he has Aaron Rodgers on. And honestly, it is probably the best 45-minute segment ever. And it's like Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback now. Because he's just like so chill.
Yeah, he's witty too. Yeah.
How old is that guy now?
What's that?
Like, how old is he now? He's like 30. He's got to be like in his mid-30s now, right?
He might be.
Getting up there. Yeah, he's getting up there.
I do. I enjoy watching the Packers, though, and that's why I'm actually glad I get to watch them this week. And because I have got half the team on my fantasy team too, so it's kind of like. But that's plus if they could beat Brady, and we're good.
Just so you guys know, Kyle is the guy that is those that are always looking for the video games and for all the guy stuff, right?
I do. You know, it's usually the first thing I look for, and the first thing I actually look for is NCAA 14 because people haven't figured it out yet.
Especially in the rural areas, they're all like, "Oh, it's just a video game. You can have it for $1."
I've never found one.
Or have you ever seen the Bart Simpson game? Which one is it though? PS. I think it's Xbox 360 Bart Simpson game. That was my first find, but I was all set to list it. I was super excited. I had everything going. Went to take pictures. Opened it up. It wasn't Bart Simpson that was in the case. It was, I don't know, some other one. But I sold the case with the manual for $12. I was like, hey, I'll take it. Out of $1. It wasn't what I wanted, but you know.
Angie, I was in your neck of the woods. I was in Dubuque a few weeks ago to get some discs. Not necessarily.
And you didn't hit me up. You should have been like.
But no, I was in Iowa. They do disc resurfacing. There's a little video game store in Dubuque, and it's like $2.50 a disc. So it was awesome. I had some discs to take and enjoyed
all
of what Iowa has to offer. So, good.
You don't have a disc resurfacer?
No,
I mean, they're not.
I don't. I haven't dubbed. I haven't been at this very long. I'm still a rookie.
They're not cheap
Well,
either.
I am too, but I got one that's as seen on TV, but I haven't even tried it yet. So if it works, I'll let you know that it's halfway decent.
They're like $200 plus to get a research.
I think the good ones, the good ones are up way north
Like
of that.
500.
I think
Call
even
your local
more.
library and see if they'll do it for you. Ours would do it for you. Also, any video game place, it's usually $2, $2 to $3 per. And if you got an whatever that was that you had,
NCAA
I can never
14.
remember NCAA. Yeah, 14.
What's
You had something like that was
game?
well worth it.
That NCAA.
So
14.
they stopped making the NCAA football games, and the NCAA 14 for PS3 was the last one that they created. So that one, there's also so
I think that one's like what, $80?
Yeah, it's the most
$80?
valuable. The Xbox 360 is not as valuable. But then the other one is March Madness. I think it's 10 with Blake Griffin on the cover. That's the other one to look out for.
See, I didn't
they
know
stopped
that
making those as well. That was the last.
I've probably missed out on those. I see stuff like that all the time, and I'm like, just another basketball game, another football game.
Yeah.
But not anymore. I'm gonna be looking.
But they're getting ready to come out with another football game though.
That it's gonna go down. Yeah, we're missing.
You don't think it's going to bother that value of that so much because that's the only football game everybody has to play?
And that was the last. Well, that was the last one they produced for college football.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So now they're going to come out with a new one. The graphics are going to be so much better. They're actually going to. I mean, it's going to change.
Maybe. Yeah, I suppose. Well, you can come down this way. This weekend we have community-wide garage sales 5 miles down the road for me, and that's where I found. That was where I got the mother load in June. I hit an estate sale. I spent $132. I got two reel to reels, a Commodore 64, 5 boxes of software for the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
It was insane. And they gave me everything free left over as long as I hauled it away. There's a bunch of stuff on my front porch yet.
And that
so where am I going this weekend?
Yeah, right. I'll hit you up on Instagram.
Cool.
What's that, Daniel?
No, I'm saying
where are you coming to?
Atari? The Commodore?
The Commodore 64 is one of the very first computers that came out that were big back in the day, and they have die-hard collectors. And I have shipped. The only one I can't seem to sell is Qbert for whatever reason. It just and it's worth like $50, but nobody wants to give me anywhere close. I think I got an offer for $30 right when I listed it, and all the rest of them I'm selling for over $50, and I'm like, that's nah. And I just listed it, so I was like, nah. Sure enough, now I can't seem to sell it.
I'm gonna have to go garage selling with y'all one day, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Come on
Even
up to
y'all
Iowa.
are like 1,000 miles away from me, 2,000 miles.
Yeah.
Better do it before winter hits.
I've never.
Oh yeah.
I've always been in the south. I've never gone up north.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've only been Texas, California, Nevada, Georgia.
You're not missing much. There's just snow and cold and wind and ice and never mind. I'm
going like living in the desert. We don't have that many problems. Just sometimes flash floods. That's it. No, and I'm surrounded by mountains, so there's no tornadoes or nothing like that.
So we have blizzards, tornadoes, floods. What else?
Hey, we had derecho in Iowa. You missed that.
We had hail this morning. 4:00. So
Kyle, you didn't get hit with derecho at all, did you? Last year in August. It was August 11th of last year.
It doesn't ring a bell, but we almost got hit by that. We had a tornado run through a couple months ago, and I was a half mile away from that one. That was a big one came through.
So you guys got the big tornadoes out there. Ours that touch down are like F1s, and they usually don't stay on the ground that long. They're not like the massive ones you guys get out that way. So
I have to ask Cheryl, does anybody remember where Cheryl's from?
No.
I don't remember where Cheryl is from.
I don't remember where you're from.
I have her address on my phone. I'm actually finally ready to start baking again because I have been coughing and hacking still, and I don't think anybody wants me making cookies when I'm coughing.
I just realized I could look at the comments on the right. I've just been looking at
I have the comments there, and I even have the YouTube chat popped out too. But
yeah, because I just see private chat, and it was just blank the whole time. And I'm like, oh look, it says comments. And
that's funny. I'll send you a private message because my town is pretty small. Like, so if you just told a few people in my town that you're looking for some lady that does email and she's kind of weird, everybody'd know exactly who I was. So I'll send you a private message in a little bit. I mean, it's not that hard. And anyway, so yeah.
Earlier, Nakoma Fines called us beautiful people, so that's cool.
Aw.
Nakoma's a good guy. He's I forget. Isn't he from Texas too?
Nice.
I don't remember.
I'm secluded from the rest of Texas. I'm far away from everything, from Houston.
I know. I always forget how big Texas actually is, and it's.
I used to live in Corpus Christi, and I would drive to my hometown, El Paso, to visit. 12 hours. 12 hours. That's how big Texas is.
Which is crazy because, like, in Pennsylvania, I can be from Pittsburgh to Philly. I could be there in about 6 hours. So.
Well, do you guys get hurricanes there at all, or no?
Where?
Like in Philadelphia area.
The Philly area they will, but like where we're at, we'll get the remnants of a lot of the hurricanes from down south. We might get like the edge of. We might get the tropical storm, then we'll get all the rain. Like we had, I think there was one this year. I think it dumped like 2 or 3 inches of rain. Yeah,
because I heard Philly Flipper was talking about that he was almost getting water in his warehouse.
Yeah, and he was a
little nervous.
We're up on top of the hill, so if we ever get flooded here, the rest of the world better just be the rest of the world's in trouble. So
borderline.
Mike, are you full or part-timer?
Part-time with full-time hours.
Right.
Yeah, me and my wife both have full-time jobs, 3 kids. I've been selling on eBay for over 20 years, but we didn't really realize that people watched. We knew about YouTube, but we never knew there was this whole reselling thing on YouTube until COVID hit. Then my kids said, "Hey, you should do this. Let's do these videos." Well, I hate talking in front of people, so it took me couple of weeks to finally put out one video. Now it's like, okay, but we thought it was also easy to begin with, but I was completely wrong there too. And I didn't realize what went into YouTube.
Yeah.
Does anybody, Kyle, do you have a channel?
No, I think I'll just make my living popping in on people's shows like this. This is actually the first live YouTube I've ever done. So.
Oh, really?
Have not dabbled.
Oh,
I don't know. I like the lives. I think, yeah, we do like the lives. I mean, we try to do 2 a week. My wife's usually on one with me, and we'll have guests on there. But we're trying to figure that one out now. We used to do this one on Mondays, but now this is our first Tuesday show, and I kind of like
Monday
it.
Night Football is a little bit hard to compete with. Mike had a screen up there last week, and he's like, "Oh, they did this and they did that." And
I have a 32-inch TV above my computer, and I had the game on up there, and I'm like, but people are watching Monday Night Football, so.
No, Mike was watching Monday Night Football.
I was looking at it. Hey, that's what happens now. So we decided to go Tuesdays. So Tuesdays, I think, might be it for a while.
Yeah, Tuesday night takedown. But so, Kyle, do you have a big cash pile or
anxiety pile?
Money pile or anxiety pile or
money pile is huge.
I have a money garage, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point like Primetime was saying where I'm getting to that point where it's just overflowing a little bit. So I gotta stop sourcing and just get listing. But I also have a full-time job and 5 kids, and it's
5. Wow.
Yeah, it's on and off with me. So I'll have good days and some runs and a few days in a row where I won't list anything. So it's more of a hobby. It's turned into a little bit more, but yeah, it's picked up quite a bit last several months. So.
Yeah, I see you posting more on Instagram.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's just like I said, it's something it's kind of fun to do. I don't know, the Instagram, I'm not a big social media guy, but I figured it might be something to start. Whereas if I get to a point where maybe I wanted to start a YouTube channel or whatever that might be, then you have a foundation to go off of, and
Right.
so it's fun. So
yeah, the Instagram helps with YouTube. Like I've noticed a lot of the new followers, I'll tell them about my YouTube channel, and they'll be like, because they are resellers themselves, they'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna check you out. I'm curious to see like what you do as a reseller. You know, everybody's a little different. I might learn something from you. So I've had a good response with that Instagram, converting them to YouTube followers.
Yeah, that's I mean, mostly. I mean, I think we have over 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm like, I wish all those followers would come over to YouTube.
Yeah,
right.
That would be nice. I'll tell them this is a YouTube short, 43 seconds long. Check it out if you're interested. I don't force the sub to it or nothing like that. I just tell them check it out if you're interested. I'll get like 2 out of 10 people sub. So 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, it's still a sub. So for me, I could just consider it like grinding. I'm hustling to get a few people interested. You know, got to start somewhere. That's how I see it. Other people might not like that, but I like doing it.
Yeah.
But I think it's about building relationships, and just like this live, you're building relationships with people, and then they can decide, you know, I like that person. I like kind of how they do this or that. And so then you subscribe to them, and maybe you don't like their pre-recordeds, but you like their lives. So you just kind of stick with them and kind of follow them. And then there are times where I'll listen to somebody and then I'll be like, wow, I don't know why I've never listened to them before. It's just like maybe their videos come out on a wrong day or something. It's hard to tell.
I never thought I'd be a YouTuber. I never thought I'd be a YouTuber because I don't like to talk too much. I'm like real to myself, but I'm learning to talk a little bit more. You know, that's why like we're all here, all 4 of us. And earlier, and I was just kind of like soaking it all in. Like this is me. I'm not really a talker.
Right.
You know, I found with Instagram, what's most valuable for me is the research. And you know, there's people like I'll throw a couple out there like Thrifty Yeti, Osborne to Thrift, who have just every day you can go on and learn something, and then you have something else to look out for. And you go back to, you know, I'll go back to the same thrift stores, you know, 3, 4, 5 times, and I'll pick something up that 5th day that I would have never even thought to even look up that first day. So it's the research for me, I think, is probably the most valuable with Instagram.
Right.
Yep.
Have you tried milk glass yet?
Say what?
Have you tried milk glass yet? Do you know what milk glass is? It's just white glass basically, but it'll be like, you know, the white vases that you see at every single Goodwill.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's little dots all the way around it.
Okay.
And your average person, when you go to a garage sale, they think it's worth something. Well, instead of it being worth 50 cents or $1, it's probably worth $2. And even on eBay, it might sell for $5. And for me personally, I don't care what anybody else does, but for me personally, if I sell an item that is worth less than the postage or what it is to send it, I'm not going to pick that item up. So if this glass sells for $4 or $5 and it costs me $7 to send it, it's just like, me personally, I would probably never buy that item. And there's nothing unique about it. So with
and that's why my stuff, and that's why I sell items like that, because other people want.
Right. But again, it took me 10 minutes to list this, and it took me 10 minutes to list this. I made $5 off this. I made $35 off this. If I can find this just as easy as I can this, I'm going to pick this up instead. So it just depends on what you're trying to do.
Well,
by the way, this is metal.
I mean, I feel like coffee mugs are the same way. Because coffee mugs have to go priority mail 9 times out of 10 because they're going to be over 16 ounces. So, and a lot of times, some of those coffee mugs sell for less than $9, and but people are still going to buy them if they need them.
Do y'all do auctions, eBay auctions?
I've done one
generally.
eBay auction probably in the last 2 years, and that was just recently because I had an item that there was no sold comps. There probably hasn't been one on eBay in the last multiple years. And I had no idea what it was going to go for. So I had 3 of them. I listed the first one. It sold for like $45.
Mm-hmm.
I listed the next two I have for buy it now or best offer higher than what that last auction ended at, and they sold within 5 minutes. So
Wow.
Auctions always seem to go less than
they do.
Right.
But I
They
didn't want to
really do.
I didn't want to put a buy it now too cheap and
Right.
really I should have went higher and just they would have probably sold. I probably could have made another $50 on them. But
Right.
I only paid $1 each.
Okay.
So I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
The only time I'll ever do an auction is if I have, like, for example, let's say it's a disc that's pretty scratched up, maybe it's an X library, and I don't want to put the price on it, but I want the buyer to put the price on it. Then there's less expectation for them, for them to be, well, you sold this for X. Well,
That's
no,
a good
you
point.
You bid on it for X.
Yeah,
So
so
They
that's
probably
why.
have the resurfacer too, so they know what they're getting into.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's possible. That's very
It was
possible.
a Pokemon Stadium bonus disc that I found at a library sale that was stuck in between some DVDs.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was awesome. Went for like $180, and
Damn.
yeah, they had no idea it was just stuck in there. So
Well, I just found it at a church sale. What was it, a couple weeks ago? I was sitting there and I walked in this sale and I see these sealed VHS tapes, and the first one sitting there staring at me was The Mask.
Oh wow!
I'm like, how much for the VHS? And the guy's like 50 cents. I was like, okay. Came home, it sold within like 2 days for $249.
Really?
That sounds like hundreds, right? If it's
The Mask is the highest one. I mean, there's some VHS tapes that, like, I have the Titanic over here, The Godfather. They do not sell it all sealed, but for some reason, The Mask is.
Yeah, I found the Titanic sealed. Yeah, that don't sell. I think
Nope.
I tried
So does
it
the
too.
Mask unsealed sell?
It goes for like $40-$50 still.
No.
Really?
I know where I'm going tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah,
I
and
didn't know unsealed went that well.
Yeah, it's really weird
Nice.
because from what I've found out there's people actually grading VHS tapes now. Like they're grading cards or they're grading video games too. So it's funny, because you do video games, we went to a sale and we go there, this lady, I'm asking her prices on stuff and they're all high. But then they have these stacking like Nintendo DS games. And she's like, okay, my husband wrote down the prices. He looked up all the prices. I'm like, okay. So the one's like a Pokemon Black and White Nintendo DS game. So I scan it and I'm like, this thing's going for like $100. She goes, okay, he wants 20 for it. I'm like, so I start pulling all these out, and she ended up. I mean, I spent like $50, but I had like $400 in games.
Nice.
And I'm sitting there thinking, where did you look up prices at? If like, I have no clue.
And some of that could have been the value shifting based on when you looked it up. That even in the last, I'd say 6 months, we've seen a lot of ups and downs with games. I mean, just like you see with seasonal items. Just depends on that demand. And
so, what would you list a Nintendo Wii with 6 games, 4 controllers in the sensor bar for?
All the power cords and stuff included. Those
depends
are
on the games.
It's hard to sell. There's a lot out there, but probably I have one listed for like 80 or 90, and it's not going to sell because I've realized there's a lot of competition out there right now.
Yeah,
and they're not as desired. But I'd say you could get easily 60 for it. You might want to list at 70 or 75 and go from there.
Even with the games too.
Well, it depends on the games. That's actually a big deal. If you got Wii Sports, is where
Wii Sports, Wii Play, and then I turned the system on, and there was Mario Brothers was in it, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so you got more in games. You might actually be better off selling the games individually.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Because Wii Sports is worth $20 right there.
And I paid for the whole
Wii
lot.
Sports. I have it listed for $7.99 and nobody's touching it. I don't know if it's because I dropped way below in this, because it's been on too long. Maybe I should unlist it and relist it or something.
Well, the lady had the whole Wii set. She had everything there, and it was like $30 or make me an offer. So I gave her 20 for everything.
Yeah.
And then she had like 2 Game Gear games, 2 Sega Game Gear games, and then Nintendo DS game. I got for $1 each.
Oh, that's good. That's a good deal right there.
Well,
Okay,
Like 2 years
so
ago, I
you
got
two
like
need to
40
follow
bucks.
each other on Instagram, and then we can talk more next week.
yeah,
It's getting late.
that's
Oh yeah,
true.
getting late.
Okay, so it's Tuesday takedown. Think about your death pile.
Well,
Think about
I
what
was-
you got going on. See what
I
you
said
want
I was going to list. I said I was going to list tonight, and I didn't list the thing.
You got distracted.
I knew it was going to happen. Then next week we are listing.
Okay, I'll be ready.
And next week, I'm going to throw this out there now. We were
Okay.
going to do it tonight, but we're going to do it next week.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. I
We're
forgot
going to
all
do it
about that.
next week, though.
My
We're
bad.
going to do this next week, but I'm going to mention it now so the people who are in the
Okay.
chat will know. Next week, if you're in the chat, we're going to have you at some point drop your eBay store link.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Angie are going to go into your stores, and if we find something that we like, we are going to buy 1 item from somebody.
Yep.
In their eBay store next week.
And we'll try to
So.
show off your store and show some of the stuff that you sell.
Exactly. You might have a look. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll show your store on the screen. We did that last week, and it actually got some people sales. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. I'm gonna get out of here because I have a brand new doggy to love on.
Hey, I
Sounds
appreciate
good.
the invite. Thanks everyone for having me on.
Yeah.
Maybe
Nice
do
to
it
Thanks for
meet
again.
you,
coming
Kyle.
by.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you and get to know you a little bit better, Daniel and Kyle.
was.
I will send you. I'm gonna send you where I'm going this weekend, just in case. You know,
Awesome.
it's only a 2-hour drive. You could come early and leave late.
Yeah,
You know.
do that.
Perfect. Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and hopefully you tune in next Tuesday.